Hello and welcome to another special episode of Jobless Weebs. I'm Marco and with me today is Miko. So today I wanted to talk about an anime that I recently watched, and it's pretty much what if the metaverse would go wrong. That's of course like a very general idea of what could go wrong with the metaverse. The anime is called Dennou Coil, or Coil, a Circle of Children, I think was the translation. Anyways, the anime is based in the near future where augmented reality is just part of everyday life. As easy as having some glasses on, you can now enjoy the virtual world within the means of reality. People can have pets and do many other things with just having their glasses on. Of course, this also entitles bad stuff like disappearances, accidents due to malfunction of the lenses, and many other bad stuff happens in this anime. First, I'm gonna try to go over a quick synopsis of what the anime entails, the good and the bad, and finally, what rank would be giving it. So first, for the synopsis, the main character in all of these is an elementary school girl called Yuko, or Yasako, because her name was written with the characters for gentle girl, hence Yasako. She just moves to Daikoku City, and there are a lot of rumors of a lot of paranormal stuff or weird stuff happening in the city. But despite that, she moves to that city due to family reasons. She lives at her grandmother's house. Her grandmother's name is Megaba, which runs a dagashi store, or a candy shop store, but in reality she sells a lot of illegal tools for the augmented reality lenses. It is important to mention that in this world where augmented reality has become a thing, there are also a lot of viruses lurking around, and there are some antiviruses also all over the place trying to eliminate. So Megava has a detective agency that is composed of, or at least tells us that it's composed from other elementary school kids that their only purpose for that agency is to look for missing cyber pets. While the actions of these little detectives are pretty much harmless, there's also another character called Yuko Amasawa, whose characters are written as brave girls, so everyone calls her Isako. She is what could be a hacker. So she is looking for viruses to control the viruses and to do some shady things. She is pretty much being controlled by a third party that they don't mention it until episodes later, and all of this is happening during like a school year. I'm pretty sure that all the elementary school characters are in 6th grade, so during the time that they are working on these cases of missing cyber pets, they cross paths with Isako, the girl who's dealing with viruses, and it becomes a mess. This mess so much that it turns all this cyber stuff into something paranormal, something that involves actually the consciousness leaving the body and going into the cyberspace, because I don't think they mention it as if it were the internet. It's just kind of like a different reality where everyone is connected. You can just call anyone as long as you have your glasses. They just go this and they can call people. They have these tools where they can shoot beams out of their heads, and it is pretty weird. During the climax of the anime, these characters are involved in several problems because the antivirus that were created by pretty much the government are attacking the kids. And the thing is that the person who was in charge of creating these antiviruses were created by the aunt of one of the secondary characters. One of the secondary characters becomes obsessed with the viruses and starts helping Isako. There is a portal that opens to the cyber world and takes the user consciousness into the cyber world, which is bad. So the main character, Yuko, or what was her name? So the main character, Yasako, goes, saves them, and she's just pretty much meddling in other people's business. But at the end of the day, she is the key to solving all the mysteries, pretty much cleaning all the mess that she kind of helped create. The show ends with no casualties, at least with people, but it does have one casualty, which is a cyber dog, the cyber dog from Yasako, that his name was Densuke. Densuke, amazingly enough, he was created by Yasako grandfather, and Yasako grandfather created Densuke to be kind of like a keeper and to safeguard Yasako from all the bad stuff created by the viruses. Because the glasses, it turns out that they were initially created for medical purposes, for people that had PTSD symptoms and the like. The bad thing. So the bad things, I'm going to cover the bad things first. The bad things is that they used elementary school children, which in my opinion, they could have used probably high school or college students, but the anime in return would turn a bit darker. The anime itself, it's dark, but because there's some elementary school kids, I think that it wasn't as dark as I was expecting it. Yet, I had to watch a lot of slice of life anime after that. The other bad thing is the plot itself. It didn't have holes, but it raised other questions as to, for example, why did Yasako granddad died, and how was that, and how was that there were other people's consciousness inside the virus's territory, and yet they felt more like lost souls. So they were not aware, but still some of them were aware of what was happening. And one last thing, one of the other bad things, again, I guess it's with augmented reality, having children of that age playing with such advanced technology, I don't think it's a good idea. As a VR user myself, I'm kind of opposed of letting kids using that kind of hardware. Though I'm kind of, well, I don't really care if kids want to play Call of Duty or Doom or whatever. So it's kind of weird that I draw the line of which kind of hardware they can and they cannot use. Now, the good things. One of the good things from this anime is that there is a good balance between the seriousness and there are not really funny moments, but the laid back moments. There is a good balance, and at least there is intervention from adults or from more mature people, so the kids, even though they're doing stupid things, they're stopped kind of at some point. Another good thing is that at the end, there, even though it's not a quite happy ending, it's an ending where you get satisfied. I'm not saying that I would watch it again or put it on my favorite list, but I'm like, okay, yeah, it was I kind of like found it on a Russian roulette kind of basis, kind of like, oh, this name sounds interesting, so I might as well watch. One of the other bad things regarding having kids in that anime and not adults is that kids do dumb things and they do not know the limits. As adults, we know the limits of our stupidity and we know what kind of consequences sometimes that entail. For a kid doesn't know that until he is already crying or in very, very deep in trouble. So that's also one of the other reasons I would have liked this kind of anime to have a more mature characters, because despite that, they're putting a lot of these kids very mature for their age, given that they're in elementary. I mean, when I was in elementary school, yeah, I was an idiot. So, and I'm still an idiot, but I'm just older now. Now, for my ranking, in my anime list, this anime has a score of 80.07 and is by Madhouse Studios. Personally, I like my Madhouse Studio. Is from Spain 2007, so I think that around that time were a lot of anime that were kind of dark. I like the art style, but I think that my rank would be probably like 6.5 out of 10. And mainly it's because it's not the kind of genre that I like, but I like the plot. I wouldn't recommend it. I could have definitely done a way better job at describing this anime, and all that stuff, but at least I'm keeping eye contact with my camera for 75% of the time, so I'm improving. I hope you like this video. If you want to watch the metaverse going wrong as an anime, then I would recommend you to watch Dennou Coil. I was Big Bro Mexican, keep watching anime, and see you next week. Bye.